Felicia's Plate is a new, non-inheritable legendary weapon that Felicia herself has gotten access to after update 2.2. If you want to get this new weapon, all you need is a 5-star Felicia and some SP to unlock it. You don't even need her Silver Dagger Plus weapon. As for what it can do, it comes with a few effects. First off, if Felicia makes an attack after combat, she inflicts a -7 defense and resistance debuff on the target and any enemies within 2 spaces of the target. Very nice to have. Felicia's Plate also calculates damage by using the lower of a foe's defense or resistance. This is the same as the refined Dragon Breath skills, but it works against all enemies, including melee ones. This means Felicia can target an opponent's resistance stat if it is lower than their defense stat, essentially meaning Felicia is getting extra free damage on her plate. I think this is probably the best new weapon for update 2.2 if you don't include each weapon's respective special variant upgrades. If you do want to refine Felicia's Plate, you can choose her special variant option, which is designated by this purple swirly symbol. This variant will grant Felicia special cooldown charge +1 if she is fighting an enemy tome user. Special cooldown charge is the number a unit charges their special by for each action in battle, whether they make an attack or get hit. By default, this value is +1, so you can attack and your special goes down by 1. With Felicia's Plate, special variant, you get special cooldown charge +2, meaning every attack Felicia makes will reduce her special by -2, and this is the same idea as Steady Breath. However, this effect is always working, but only works against mages, so remember that. Some pros of Felicia's Plate without the refined upgrade is that she gets adaptive damage. Her damage will adapt to the lower of her opponent's defensive stats, and if you know about the upgraded Dragon Breath skills, you'll understand how good this is. Previously, Felicia could get easily walled by high defense units since she has pretty low attack. Now she can absolutely destroy matchups if her opponents focus too heavily on defense without some points in resistance. An example is Lucas, who can literally take 0 damage from Felicia because he has more than 40 defense. However, Lucas has less than 20 resistance, which means Felicia's damage just increased by more than 20, and she can double him as well. Slow melee units like Lucas, who only invest in defense, are going to have a really bad time against Felicia now. Another pro is the AoE debuff effect, which, do remember, is new and was a better effect that was added to daggers in update 2.0. For example, Jafar has to upgrade his deadly dagger to get this AoE debuff, while Felicia just gets it already, no refine required. This is a nice supportive effect that isn't really bad in any way. Last and most importantly is that you get all of this just for having a 5-star Felicia. You do not need Divine Dew to get the adaptive damage, and I think the refined effect for the plate isn't a must-have. Felicia is also a free unit from the daily rotation, so everyone literally has a chance to get her. If you don't use dagger units but want to mess around with a cool weapon, then Felicia is that opportunity. Now let's discuss what problems Felicia has and then see if the special refined plate can solve those issues. If you aren't familiar with Felicia, she has insanely good speed and resistance but has low HP and defense and one of the lowest base attack stats in the game. For year 1, Felicia basically relied on her special to deal any meaningful damage, and with Glacies, she could put a dent in anyone. Now Felicia's Plate tries to solve her low attack with a 14-way dagger, as well as the adaptive damage effect. Even though the plate definitely improves her attack in most cases, I have 3 main issues with Felicia if you want to use her in a competitive scene like Arena. With low HP and defense, Felicia can potentially get one-shot by distant counter users, depending if their attack is high enough. She also gets destroyed by dragons because of their own adaptive damage effect, and her low defense sets Felicia up to get eaten up by all those lightning breath dragons. What makes both of these points worse is that Felicia generally likes to run with either -HP or -defense Banes, as do not touch her good speed and resistance, and you definitely do not want an attack Bane. Unfortunately, if you play in high tier arena, you will run into plenty of distant counter users and a whole lot of upgraded lightning breath dragons. Felicia just doesn't have the attack stat to one-shot these units either. Maybe if she had Soth's 36 base attack, then this could be different. With those problems in mind, is the special refined plate worth it? First off, it only works against mages, which are already one of Felicia's best matchups thanks to her high speed and high resistance. If there are no mages on the field, then this refined upgrade is completely useless. Do keep in mind that I don't think you shouldn't get Felicia's Plate special variant, but Divine Dew is a very precious resource, so use your own judgment as to whether or not you think it's worth spending all those resources. With the special cooldown charge +1 effect, it creates an interesting combat loop if you use Felicia with Iceberg or her trademark Glacies specials. If Felicia attacks twice, and assuming the enemy mage hits her once, she is guaranteed to proc Iceberg or Glacies in 1 round of combat, and this can be applied to any 3 or 4 turn special. Now I haven't used Felicia for very long, so I can't give the best advice, but you want to consider if Felicia needs her special to finish off mages in 2 attacks. If she doesn't, then she essentially wastes these powerful specials which could have been used on the next encounter. However, one attack plus 1 Glacies is pretty much guaranteed to KO just about any mage. There's definitely a trade-off here between absolute destruction of any mage or versus being able to save special for another tough enemy. I do think that this upgrade opens up the way for more unique playstyles and builds. You could try AoE specials or even Glimmer or Moonbow for that instant proc if Felicia gets hit first. Omni H has a video that covers a build using an area of effect special with double Savage Blow, and it's definitely a cool build, so go check it out if you want another perspective on how to use Felicia's plate. I will link it in the description. So does the special variant upgrade solve those problems we talked about earlier? Well, first off, this new effect only works against mages, which Felicia already specialized in fighting. She is able to guarantee special procs if she doubles, which is really strong, but still doesn't help her deal with distant counter users or dragons. If you don't mind this and can cover her weaknesses, then refining Felicia's plate isn't going to be a complete game changer. I don't want to make it sound like a bad upgrade, I just want to state that I think Felicia's plate is really strong without needing to upgrade it. For instance, Basilicos for Raven is basically a slaying axe with 2 extra might. If you get the special variant for Basilicos, then now it gets Life and Death 3, which can allow you to make Raven a super focused attack and speed unit. Felicia's game plan for the most part isn't going to be largely affected by upgrading her plate. I would even recommend considering going for the speed, defense, or resistance variants instead. If you're planning to use Felicia with her new plate, here are some skills I think can be useful. Fury is super amazing because Felicia wants all those stat increases, plus it helps prevent her from getting one-shot by distant counter users or dragons. Fury pairs really well with Desperation, and Desperation itself can help Felicia bypass counterattacks from say Hector or Adult Tiki. Other B skills to try out are Guard for maximum magic defense, or Cancel Affinity to take out Triangle Adept Razentone users. Windsweep is also another option for getting past distant counter, but you will want a Dancer to either finish them off or get out of harm's way. Quick Riposte is fine as well if you feel like Felicia isn't fast enough, and Ploys are great for Felicia since she has super good resistance. I would recommend Attack Ploy since again it can help her not get one shot, and it pairs with her defense and resistance debuff from her weapon. Overall, I would say Felicia's plate is really amazing even without its weapon refinery upgrade. The adaptive damage on anybody is great and is free damage on units who over-prioritize on defense. We've discussed that Felicia struggles against 2 really popular arena meta threats, but it's really close. 1 point of HP, or attack, or defense can make all the difference, and skills like Fury, Attack Ploy, or even just a simple fortified defense buff from an ally can help Felicia in these matchups. Felicia can tackle distant counter users and dragons, but without proper support, her performance will be unreliable depending on different units, natures, and builds. Last, her special upgrade unlocks the use of different builds. I don't think it's a must-have upgrade, but it can be useful in the future, especially with the special cooldown charge. That's going to be it for this video. I have not upgraded Felicia's plate myself, so if you have experience with it, then please share your thoughts in the comments. I think it would be nice to have, but Divine Dew is just too rare at the moment. I think giving all the units new unique weapons is really great, and just grants more options to create new builds. In Felicia's case, it helps to patch up one of her greatest weaknesses, which is her horrible attack stat. I've been playing with this new weapon for a few days now, and I can say that I like it a lot. Felicia actually has killing power without her special against some units, and overall it is much more enjoyable to use her. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.